What's going on, everybody? Tanner here with another video. Hope you're all having a great day. And today I got a special video. We got a guest appearance here. We got Zara. And we're going to be going and talking to him a little bit sort of about what he does. But this video is mainly going to be about outsourcing, automating a store. Just overall outsourcing anything that you need to get done, because sometimes, especially nowadays with business, it's hard to trust someone to do something for you. So especially when there's money involved, there's a lot of trust and credibility that has to go into it. So he does a lot of outsourcing with the stuff he does. I don't do it too much, the basic stuff of like a virtual assistant on my stores. They can't really do much from that, like affecting you negatively. But of course, there are a lot of things that go into outsourcing and actually automating a store. Do we want to angle this towards like a store outsourcing or just like overall business?
We can do overall business. I mean, you can do it for clients if you have restaurant clients, if you have like spa clients, or you can do it for e-com.
First thing let's just sort of an introduction to you. Just give like a basic overview, a little bit about what you do and what you want the people to know.
Yeah, so I have a social media marketing company. We do advertising for like restaurants, spas, dentists, stuff like that, and then also we run e-com stores. My main thing is Facebook ads, so I don't do any influencer marketing like other people.
Yeah.
But my main thing for getting sales and all that is Facebook ads, so that's like my strong suit. Now, I built a team in the Philippines, which we're talking about outsourcing this video, and how I did that and all that stuff, and managing it, trusting them. There's so much that goes into it. So we'll talk more deeply into this.
Yeah, so you built a skill set on something that was necessary for your business. Let's say you have a client for McDonald's or whatever. You got to run their ads. You got to figure out, how to get more people in the actual store, the brick and mortar store, the restaurant, how to get people to download the app, how to get people to the social media pages, all that stuff that goes into it. So you learn that skill set, and then you're like, look, I have so many clients now, I can't really manage to do it all myself, so I need to find someone else that does that, specific thing for me. So why did you choose Philippines, and is there anything better about doing it in a different country than here?
Number one, it's cheaper, obviously.
Yeah.
If you do in-house here, it's more money. It's probably like $3,000, whatever you want to pay your employees. Over there, like right now, it costs me anywhere from $300 to $600 to manage a business.
Wow.
Because it's so cheap. So whether that's an e-com store or whether that's a social media like a restaurant, cost me $300 to $600 to manage it. Now, if you do that here, it's gonna be much more expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how did you go about actually training and finding these people? You don't have to go like full in details, but sort of just an overview.
Yeah, I'll give you an overview. So there's definitely programs to use. Like we use Kajabi.
Oh yeah.
And what it does is it has a video series, and I send every week a video out to all the VAs, and depending on when you first start off, you go through a whole nother funnel of Kajabi, and then when you're like 10th week in, and they learn, and then we have conference calls once a week, and the VAs have conference calls every single day after their shift is done, the last 30 minutes of their shift. So they're all together and like masterminding and helping each other out and learning together. You know what I mean?
So how did you find these people? Like, was it online, or you were in the Philippines? You're like, hey, you want to work for me? Like how'd it go?
I got it referred to by people that have experience with like VAs.
Yeah, just like outsourcing.
Yeah, and like people that just like literally like make M's off like outsourcing work, and they gave me a really good source to find, because there's so many people.
Outsourcing is literally what companies are. You're working a 9 to 5. You're basically being an outsource of what needs to be done within a company.
Exactly, and like it's a trust thing. Like there's gonna be so many outsourcing companies that just steal your client.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
that's
you're
rough.
you're gonna go through outsourcing teams or individuals or freelancers, whatever it takes. And I got lucky enough to avoid that and go straight to the person that is like congruent, and then slowly started building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's trustworthy.
So basically, you're teaching them through like online sources, sort of like a course or something.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have
video series.
Have you ever gone to the Philippines and actually like talked to them?
I haven't yet.
You haven't?
We need to though.
Yeah, that'd be great credibility for them to like see who's in charge and
yeah,
stuff.
we FaceTime like the whole class. There's like 18 of them in one of them.
Wow.
We FaceTime them, and like we're going literally like get the whiteboards back here.
Yeah.
And we start.
So it's all like these people are working like full time.
Yeah. full time.
All right. And
So they work from 9 a.m. to 6, and then we have another shift from 8 to like 4 a.m. in the morning, depending around there, and they just interchange and.
Yeah. So just to give like a quick overview of sort of like everything we've talked about so far, he built this agency working for different clients. We could use the example of McDonald's, and it just has a ton of different clients. Let's say McDonald's, he's charging them $5,000 a month to run all their ads and their social media, whatever it is. Then he's getting paid that $5,000, but he doesn't have the time to manage that store or those ads, just because he has to manage all these other companies. So what he does, or what he did, is he found this team in the Philippines. He went through different virtual assistants in order to find the ones that work best for him, and how they can learn and adapt to the different situations. And he's able to pay them a lower amount than what he actually charges the client. So he's profiting off of that, and then in exchange, he's just paying them. But how do you actually go about keeping virtual assistants from like running away with your knowledge?
So there's a little strategy to do this. You got to keep them on a leash, and the way to do this is by using Kajabi, or there's other similar programs, and you make a whole like overview of what you're going to be learning every single week, and it should be like a year long, and you want them to always think that there's something new to learn, so that they don't leave. So they might have all this knowledge, but then you're like, hey, you're going to learn this on week 78. You don't want to miss this. You got to name it something so creative that sounds so sick, that just catches their eyes, catches their attention, and they want to wait to learn that, and then you just keep doing that same cycle. And then eventually you use psychology tricks and stuff. They become more loyal to you. You treat them as a family. It's not like dick move, like how Steve Jobs treated the people where he was working,
Yeah.
They say he was an asshole. Like, it's a family thing. Like, you have to have respect and all that.
It's like building that relationship, and it was more of like, instead of just having like 100 videos in the course on Kajabi or whatever it is for them to go through, like you continuously add to it.
Exactly.
So basically, what I meant by the question when I asked them, how to keep them from running away, is like sometimes you'll hire a virtual assistant to do product research or product tests or run the ads or whatever it is, and then they end up just you teach them how to do that, and then they just run away and use the things you taught them in order to benefit themselves. I've seen this in multiple cases, like Jake Paul talking about like Team 10. How like different people that have left Team 10 just because he built their brand, he got them millions of followers and like famous or whatever, and merch and brand deals and all that, and they're like, why am I giving a percentage to Team 10 when I could do it on my own? Exactly. And then they left, and it was like they couldn't really maintain that structure that they had already because they weren't being helped by this specific person. So really, it's just providing that constant knowledge that goes on and on. So they expect just more and more, and you pay. Do you do like bonuses or anything? I don't know how. Really
bonuses help a lot, and you're gonna have people that leave though. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah,
I've had 2 people that left. They left with complete knowledge, but out of 2 out of 18, it's like a way different ratio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also, you have to ask them certain questions, like what would be the reason why you would leave? What would be the reason why you would want to leave this company? You know? And then you kind of fill those gaps by thinking about why they would leave. Yeah. And then you solve the problem before it happens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like they usually be like, oh, it's either pay or not learning enough, or a new opportunity comes up, stuff like that.
Yeah. So what would you say? Like, do you talk to these virtual assistants like each one, or is it just like a group, or what?
We have a project manager.
Okay.
And he's in the Philippines, and he speaks really good English.
Mm-hmm.
And all the Filipinos, the VAs, like the robots, I guess you could say, like they don't have the best English.
Yeah.
But Ace, which is one of my VAs, the project manager, he
so it's easier,
really good English. Yeah. Like, so he talks to them, and then I also talk to them. They understand, but I don't talk to each of them individually.
Yeah, it's just a somewhat of a communication issue.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
They've all been able to learn through Kajabi and teaching them. So like all of these videos are like ones you make, and it's like all in English, and you're just teaching them, showing them how to do different things.
Exactly. So it's not just me though. So like we hire people that are really good at things.
Yeah.
Ad copy specialists, and they'll go on and we'll do like a conference call, like live, and we'll record it, and the VAs will be on paying attention, project manager, all of us, the whole team, and they'll teach them some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we upload it to Kajabi. So it's not just my video. That's everyone in the industry, whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's Google AdWords, like people that are really good at what they do, will add them on and pay them for like consulting or like teaching my team, and then we add that and we share it with the whole team.
So if we had to give one tip, let's just relate this to, you know, since I have a large majority of an audience who's interested in like drop shipping, e-commerce, whatever. Let's say they have a drop shipping store doing, you know, 5K or, you know, whatever it is. You know, it's making sustainable income with decent profit margins.
A month?
And yes, and they want to outsource it. Like, what is one tip you would give? Like, should they just go to Upwork.com, find someone to run it, or like, should they really like interview them a lot and determine whether they're a good fit? Like, what is one qualification thing you would go through when trying to find someone?
I would start with Upwork and all those companies out there that are similar, so that way you get the experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like the stepping stool, and then eventually you're gonna want to go where you're building your own team. So like, I would start at Upwork, get the experience of how it all works, teaching them, and maybe using Kajabi, making videos and all that stuff, and then later on going to more deeper level stuff and finding like an agency in the Philippines where it's more trustworthy. And instead of freelancers, because freelancers is where they'll run away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I use more like an agencies, because it's like they can't run away. They're working for someone else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely start with Upwork, get the experience, get the knowledge, and then start branching out to more deeper level for outsourcing, and then just go from there.
Awesome, bro. I appreciate you being on this video.
Definitely.
Real quick for the people. I know you have a lot of knowledge in this. We've never made a video before. If you guys, like, the reason he's in this video is because he's business partners with Hayden. So that's why we're here in Hayden's little recording spot. We stole his position.
Bowels,
Mr. Bowels. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, well, first, you can follow him on Instagram. It'll be in the description. You want him to follow you on Instagram?
Yeah. If you guys have
Sure.
any questions, shoot me a DM. AZ himself.
And he got some fire content.
He do.
Definitely better than mine. But,
He taught me well, man.
yeah,
Shit.
Exactly.
He's got
Let's
a
go.
full-time content guy.
But if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
Have a good one, guys.